Welcome back to the SKID factory. Last episode we tidied up underneath the car, got the fuel system working, put the transcooler under there. That's all done. We moved up the front, temporarily bolted these fiberglass mostly panels on so we can check out what sort of clearance we've got with the intercoolers. I threw the radiator in, we moved it forward a little bit and made a new mount bracket for it because the other one was toast. That's all done. Now we're ready to try and fit some intercoolers in there. I think we're going to do it. I've got a plan, so let's get into it.
Applying some extra weight to the intercoolers helps to keep them aligned and level while Al is welding them together. Al has welded some nuts onto the new radiator support. The intercoolers can then be placed in front, and some 4mm stainless sheet that has been cut to suit is being used as the mount for the top of the intercoolers. Using his high-tech painting booth, Nathan is giving the front headlight panel a few coats of cheap pressure pack white. This is just temporary, as Nathan plans to give the body of the car a respray in the coming future. The lower mounts for the intercoolers are very basic. Some mild steel angle has been cut to size and mounting holes drilled. These are then MIG welded to the bottom of the radiator support.
A little bit of progress has been made on the V12 40 series. Alan's done a mint job with this intercooler bracket. That ain't going anywhere, fool.
Still needs its support straps. So it's going to wobble around a bit until they're on there. We'll do that after we've done all the piping and everything's ready, so we don't put it somewhere where it's going to get in the way of something else, because that always happens.
You dinged it too, didn't you?
No, that was like that already. I reckon it'll get dinged worse than that.
It's amazing the damage a bug can do when you're doing 100 kilometres an hour.
So everything's fitting really well. The headlight buckets and everything had to go in before we could actually mount the intercooler properly, because they sort of protrude into where the tanks go. So all that's been done. Nathan's painted this in resplendent white, straight out of the rattle can. It had white written on it, and the car is technically white, so that's considered a paint match.
This will get painted eventually again. There's a few little rust patches which need to be fixed up. Nathan tells us this certain panel is rare as hen's teeth.
There's heaps of stuff about this car.
Yeah,
that's
the old
rare.
40 is just an old car thing, I suppose. You can't find parts for him.
He's going to be in a lot of trouble for modifying things that he's not supposed to. And,
you get that.
You know, that's how the car world rolls. If it's not a stocker that's never been touched, it's not allowed, except for in the SKID factory where we do what we want, but mostly what the guy that owns the car wants.
Anthony hasn't moved from that spot.
Ooh, lights, bro. These are Land Rover lights, so they may cause electrical problems, but hopefully not.
You didn't move from there last night. You're up You haven't slept, or what's going on?
Oh, mate, crawled out of here about 11 o'clock, straight in the back cave, so, yeah.
So,
I was asleep.
Anthony from Drover Camping and 4x4 has done a mint job of the wiring. You can buy wiring kits for them, but kind of started from scratch and deleted all those red wires that were there previously. What's next? What's happening now?
I'm just about to start on the intercooler piping, which is pretty straightforward. We talked about it earlier, but we got body and stuff in the way now, so we can dodge everything. Once that's done, we're almost ready to fire it up once Anthony's finished off the wiring, which is getting pretty close.
The exciting part.
So let's get into it, because this thing sounds really good and we want to hear it.
Why is there blue silicon there?
Don't even talk to me about it. You know how I hate blue silicon and blue.
The message doesn't seem to get sent to the parts shop.
No, it gets sent, it just gets ignored. But anyway, I'm probably not their only customer, to be fair, so
Yeah, true.
I'm just probably the most annoying one. Anyway, we can easily pop them off later when they have a black pair.
So what's the wizardry that has to go on here? You said something about crossing over or something.
So that turbo feeds this bank, so they kind of cross over. This bank's exhaust feeds that bank's inlet. Whether that's something that we have to get engineering explained or something to get a whiteboard out to tell us that that's not the right way of doing it or not, I don't know. But that's the way it was running before, so it worked fine. It's just the way the intercooler's got to work. Otherwise, we needed to have two intercoolers beside each other, and it just doesn't fit. Difficult. So that's how we're doing it. But anyway, so because this is going to go to that throttle, that has to go to that turbo. So this side has to twist around each other. So it won't be as linear looking as it could be, but it will actually work. So that's just how it is. So we're going to cross over this side because there's heaps of space here. This side has got all steering gears on this side, pump and box. So there's not as much room. So we'll make that the simple side. Just common sense. And we'll make this the twisty side. So it should be pretty straightforward, I think.
Do it.
Getting help.
Both intercoolers have 2.5-inch outlets. They are being fed by 2-inch alloy piping from the hot side of the turbos and into a 2.5-inch adapter. Using mandrel bends, Al pieces the piping together by measuring, marking and cutting each pipe to suit. They are then tack welded and fitted up. The cold side is then being made in 2.5-inch piping. The ends joining onto the silicon are bead rolled before being welded. Anthony is on a limited time frame, so the car has been raised up to finish off the fuel pump and transcooler fan wiring. The car then comes back down to finalise the body wiring and to fit up the digital dash that Nathan has supplied. He can then test all of the lights and switches that have been installed.
This is the shifter we're going to use with the trans. I use these on A340 Toyotas. They work well. It's a Hurst Promatic. I use these over the B&M because they've got an extended gate length between reverse and park. So the Japanese autos tend to have a longer gap between the two, and it allows you to put it in park properly, whereas say a B&M has a defined gap, so you tend to not be able to get it to click into park properly. That's why we use those ones. Virtually does exactly the same thing. I think it's even made by the same company now. It's got a park neutral and reverse light built into it, so we've deleted the old unit off the side of the transmission, which we tested and wasn't working very well, which is not surprising after this age. So that'll go in, it'll work sweet. We've got all the intercooler pipes tacked up. It actually turned out to be reasonably easy to do. Everything fits pretty nicely, so I'm happy about that. Still got to be finally welded yet. I've got to put a temp sensor around about here somewhere for the inlet temperature. And we've also we're going to make some intake pipes that just come up out of the turbos and sit the air filters here behind these vents. So we've still got to do that, but it's actually, the engine's able to be started now, providing everything works okay. We're going to program the ECU, or the thing's it was fully tuned when this engine came out of the previous vehicle, so we've just got to make a few changes to like how it's operating the relays and the idle control motor and stuff like that, and we've also replaced these sensors because they didn't come with the engine, with different ones, and just have to reconfigure those. And then we'll have a go at kicking her in the guts. That'll be next time. Thanks for watching. What are you doing, Chooch?
Yay! Just there was a bit of carnage with Josh on Tuesday, so I thought I'd better just fix up the
KTM Sunday, ATM Monday?
KTM Tuesday, workshop Wednesday.
Does your starter still work?
Yeah, should do. No. Yeah, that still
Sounds
works.
like it's grinding up walnuts. That's about right.
It's all right when it's hot. That's just when it's cold. That's what the kickstart's for. So we went for a ride with...
Is this why they call it Indicator Hill?
Yeah, they sure do. We went for a ride with Josh from MVDBR, which is Mary Valley Dirt Bike Riders, and he took us out on some pretty hectic trails. There's a link up here or in the description. Jump over, check it out.
Or there, or there, or there.
I flipped my bike into many of trees. Alan, did you have any carnage? Not really. You did quite well.
No, I'm not a mad dog child like you.
I'm just keen. I just want to perfect my riding.
Flip your bike into trees.
So it was lots of fun. Check it out. We went with a heap of mates, heap of good mates. Follow his channel, give him a like and a bell click, and watch the rest of his videos. He's got some cool Africa Twin videos there too.
Yeah, that Africa Twin is sick.
I'm actually surprised that he can make it up those hills that we made it up, because they're pretty hectic. It's pretty crazy.
That's because he's Africa twin guy.
Yeah,
he's
he
not
is.
human.
He's a nutbag. All right, check it out.